You never really know when the last hug will be the last hug. And I'm not just talking about a pet, family members, or friends, but I'm just talking about life in general. You don't really think about the last phone call, the last text, the last email, the last interaction with anybody at all until it's all gone. Or even yourself until you're gone, and then they value it, or wherever you're at, you value it. We live like tomorrow is guaranteed, like tomorrow's another special day in which we expect it to be, but it really isn't. We don't know if we'll wake up the same way with the same people in the same community and environment, but rather more so we expect for everything to be the same way as the previous night and day. And then the saddest thing about it is we tend to say, we'll speak to this one person one time, and we keep saying it every time, and we never get to that point. We take things for granted and we let time and overall our judgment decide when it is to make that phone call, to text that person, to interact, to go out with that person. And one thing I learned for sure is that life doesn't give us another chance. So we gotta do what we gotta do in that moment, and overall feel that you have nothing bad in your consciousness. What's going on, guys? Jose back on a YouTube video. In today's video, we're going back with the OG self-to-self interaction, and speaking of something very sensitive for me, guys, and many of you could probably relate to it, and if you do, I really hope you do, and I hope this touches some sweet spot in your life and overall give you that eye-opening type of move that you need in order to become a better person. Now, if you are new, welcome. My name is Jose. I make vlogs, I help motivate, and I overall help everybody trying to make money, try to be a better person, and overall be somebody that you will look 10 years from now and say, damn, I got help, I received, and I changed, not because people told me to, but because I wanted to. So if you're interested in any of that, please follow. Check all the links in the description. I really appreciate it. Go follow the Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, you name it. It's all linked in the description. Enjoy the video and let's get right into it. So for about a year ago, I met my grandpa for the very first time. I went to Mexico and I went to go see him because he wasn't in a good shape. He was sick and we thought it was the end for him. But little did we know that interaction pretty much helped him until now. Why do I say until now? Because unfortunately, a week ago he passed away. And you're like, what does this have to do with anything of the video? Well, my grandpa's passing made me realize a lot of things. We aren't grateful. And what I mean by grateful is we don't value the people we truly need. Now, I barely met my grandpa, right? And he was a cool person. I meant to go see him and everything. But all these stories that my mom told me about him and all the things people talked about him were pretty cool. And I wanted to see, I want to go see my grandpa. So I was pretty excited about it. And throughout that time, it just made me realize, like, life is so short. One day you could be okay, and another day you could be on the verge of your life. And what sucks is I would never want to go see him again, The plane tickets were pretty expensive, it was around the holiday time. I wanted to go see him, spend some time together. And although we stayed there for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I think, we only saw him from like a couple days because we were doing other things. So why do I say this is that I could have spent way more time with him, I could have gone out, show him things, although he can't really walk and he was feeling bad. At least we have given him that inspiration, that motivation to continue, that people love him, that people are by his side, And honestly, it just made me realize that, I always understood, life is short, live it to your best of your life, have some restrictions here and there, but overall continue and live to the best. But this just strengthened it way more because it's my blood, it's my family, And it's like they say, everything is cool until it happens to you or somebody that you really love. In this instance, it happens to my family. You know, that last goodbye I said to him when I was about to leave his house was the last goodbye. I didn't talk to him ever since, because once again, he was immobile, so he couldn't really do anything. His wife was by his side at all times, and you know, things weren't the best. And I do feel sad in some type of way, but I also feel good that I went to go see him. But at the same time, I ask myself, what cost me so much to go see him again, or say goodbye, or give him a phone call to his wife because obviously he can't answer, or just overall just say hey to him. You know, nothing's wrong with saying hey, even if it's your worst enemy, because at the end of the day, if you don't forgive your enemy, or if you don't forgive the person who really hurt you, are you forgiving yourself? But that's a topic for another day. Back onto it. We need to value the people that are around us at all times. You know, even when you're mad, when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're crying, whatever feeling you're feeling, value it. Value that special time with that person, especially your loved ones, your close ones, such as your mother, your father, and your brothers. You know, your uncles and your aunts and your grandpa and your grandmas. Yes, they're very important, and in this instance, they were important to me. But what I mean by that is that a lot of grandpas and grandmas of different families are already dead. So I'm coming more in a shorter, less than broader version of this, to overall value the people who seen you grow and who really helped you, and even those who hurt you. Because if that person dies, you know, let God, you know, handle that. If that person dies, you're not gonna feel bad whatsoever. You're not going to feel bad that you made that person's life impossible. You're not going to feel bad that you didn't forgive from the heart and overall moved on. In fact, you're going to feel good that you forgave as Jesus forgave as well. So see it that way and continue to keep your conscience clean here and up there. You know, my mom used to tell me when I was growing up that we need to value her and that we were ungrateful and this and that. But obviously people say that when you're in trouble, you know, your mom be like, stop being ungrateful, or do this and do that. You know, it's value this that we're giving you. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, they're just saying that for me to feel like they're giving me everything, in which they were, you know, and I really appreciate it. And I don't see the difference of it until now that I'm old and I truly understand everything that they told me and why they told me. And now that it happened to me, it just made me realize that my mom was right. And there's only so much we can live. There's only so much we can say, to the point when that person's gone, we didn't say nothing to them. So if you didn't speak to your dad, if you didn't speak to your mom today, or whoever really loves you and you may have this connection with, talk to them. Say hi. You don't have to be the best friends in the world. You don't have to love them from the bottom of your heart. But overall, do your role as a brother and sister of Christ. Say hi to your mom. Say hi to your dad. How are you doing? If they don't answer at the end of the day, you did your part in saying something. You know, a lot of parents have this big ego that they're right and you're wrong. But at the end of the day, if the parent doesn't put the example, at least the son or daughter do it. Because one thing I've learned is that parents aren't always right. Older people aren't always right. Some people, the younger people, are right. And that is normal. There's nothing wrong in an elder being or a parent being wrong. There's nothing wrong. We are humans. We make mistakes. And in those mistakes, we don't value. And then we keep that for the rest of our lives. We grow up to the point where we tell our kids, when was the last time you spoke to your dad? What are you going to tell them? You're going to remember it every single day for the rest of your days. So this video is pretty short and it's pretty simple. But I just wanted you to just sit down like I'm sitting now. I'm sitting down in the chair in my room, you know, typical stuff. And just ask yourself, is your mom and is your dad texting you, calling you whenever they can? And if it's no, then you do it. You lead the example. Because if something happens to you, or you're in a very bad accident, God don't let that happen, they're going to value all those moments that you reached out. You reached out, because this is putting an example that they didn't, right? You reached out and you said, hey, how are you? I hope you're doing, have a good day, or whatever the case is. You did what you could. So there's no stab back and saying, oh, you never was there or anything. In fact, you should be the one saying that. But even so, leave it to the Lord, because at the end of the day, you did your part on this earth and on top of there. So value the people that are around you, value the people that hurt you, and just continue to grind, continue to strive, and don't take tomorrow like it's granted, but take tomorrow like it's hope. Because today we could be looking at each other, and the next day we could be looking at the one with his eyes closed. I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I really hope that it's connected to some of you guys. And overall, let me know in the comments, and if it does, please let me know. I would really like to hear you guys' comments, respond to you guys. I don't want you guys' sorrows, I don't want your guys' condolences. I just want you guys to be the best version of yourself. And overall, this message reaches many people, because that's my goal, to really help people, younger people my age or even older. Like I said, if people that are older come for help, I'll be more than likely to help. I'm not the wisdom wizard or whatever, but I try my best in what I can and what I've learned and what I've been through, such as right now. So please let me know in the comments. Follow all social medias, link in the description. Subscribe and check out my other videos. I post whenever I can. I haven't posted in like 2 weeks, but you know, in the span of those 2 weeks, things happen, such as like I'm saying in this video. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care. Once again, continue to grind, continue to strive. Peace out. Have a good day.
Peace.